Tiger R. I'm trying to figure out the logical implications of billion-year contracts. Since Scientologists take all of that at face value, they should expect to see reincarnations joining the Sea Org. Does the Sea Org ever try to recruit people by claiming they signed a contract in a previous life? Did Hubbard try to develop a tech to locate the reincarnations of Sea Org members the same way Vajrayana Buddhists have methods for finding the next incarnation of a tulku? Conversely, can people claim that they don't have to sign the contract because they already did in a previous life, maybe if they uncovered past life memories that fit the narrative? Is there any tech or procedure for that specific situation? If that's not the case, does it mean every single Sea Org member ends up blowing, quote unquote, when they die? That would be a depressing thought for a Scientologist. All right. Well, first off, congratulations on trying to apply logic to billion-year contracts. Good luck with that. And I'll gladly take up your questions here because, yes, Scientologists do expect that there will be what they call returnees. And this isn't like some Hubbard word. It's just sort of this sort of informal word that came up along the line in the culture, and that is that, people who come back are returnees. Remember, the motto of the Sea Org is, we come back. And they all have or share this sort of myth that Hubbard sort of put out there to the original Sea Org members, that the Sea Org has been around before under different incarnations as loyal officers from the OT3 narrative, etc., and that these band of Thetans have been trying to, do good in the universe for a very long time, and this kind of nonsense. So at least that's the implication from Hubbard's story that I get. Anyway, so yes, it is thought that there will be returnees, people who have been in the Sea Org before. I contemplated whether I was a returnee at one point. I thought I might have worked under Hubbard in my last lifetime back on the boat, which would have made me a past life Sea Org member, according to my recovered memories from my auditing sessions. But there's not really a whole lot of importance put on that. What they really care about is sign the contract, let's get to work, right? How and why you go about doing that doesn't really matter so much as that you do it. The contract is never considered a legally binding anything inside the culture of Scientology. It's a symbolic gesture. This is understood. At the same time, there is this idea of future lives and a literal idea of serving Scientology for 1 billion years. So they're symbolic in that nobody's expecting anybody to ever take this piece of paper and go hold it against you or use it against you or something like that. It's not really the spirit in which it's done. You're not signing a contract when you sign a Sea Org contract in the same mindset that you're signing a contract for an auto loan. That you're going to be paying this back and it's going to be this sort of drudgery and it's going to be sort of difficult. It's not like that. I'm signing this symbolic thing that I'm going to do this. I'm committed. It is certainly a full lifetime commitment. That much you are definitely doing when you sign that contract. The next lifetime and the lifetime after that, yeah, sure. Yeah. Of course I'm coming back. It's not like we didn't think we were, but you just don't really think about it too much. It's one of those things where the reason you see me kind of hemming and hawing and going around on this is because you guys think a lot more about this than we ever did. And I think that's kind of the point I'm trying to make with all this explanation is there really wasn't a lot of thought given to it. It's just Scientology's good. I have to do this because if I don't, I'm contributing to the world going to hell in a handbasket. And that's kind of the amount of thinking that's done when people are recruited into the Sea Org. That's really what you're trying to push on the person and get across. And I recruited a lot of people into the Sea Org doing exactly that. Okay, but you're asking great questions here, so I'm not knocking you asking me questions about it. I'm just letting you know you're thinking about it way more than we did. Okay, did Hubbard try to develop a tech to locate past Sea Org members? No, there's nothing like that in Scientology at all. There are hopes, there are aspirations on the part of Scientology parents that their kids might be returnees and even past life Sea Org members. Sea Org members aren't having kids, so that's not part of the picture. You know, they're not, the Sea Org isn't self-propagating that way. So there's no mechanism in Scientology to hunt down or find a past life Sea Org member. They will use an e-meter in auditing to confirm or verify your past life memories, but the point of auditing isn't really to do that. So there's not like a test, or nobody's going to put you on a meter and start asking you sharp and pointed questions about your past life Sea Org experience unless they think there's some moral transgressions connected with it, in which case they're doing a security check, which is kind of a separate topic. Can people claim they don't have to sign the contract because they already did? No. Nobody's trying to get out of signing the contract that way. And if some Scientologist says, "Oh yeah, no, I already signed one of those," they're gonna go, great, report for duty, right? It's like, let's go. I mean, it's not like that's gonna get you out of anything. It's only gonna get you more into it, you know. Is there any tech or procedure for that? No, there's not. But no, that doesn't mean that Sea Org members are blowing when they die. It's what happens when a Sea Org member dies is a memorial issue, a memoriam issue, is written about them and their accomplishments in their life. And they became a Scientologist at blah, blah time, and they joined the Sea Org, and they did this, and they did that. And it's usually about a page-long issue. At least this is what they did for years when I was still in it. I don't know if they're still doing this, but when a Sea Org member died, you would get one of these in memoriam issues, and it was usually written locally and then approved and sent around to everybody. And at the end of it, traditionally, and this was kind of a Sea Org tradition, I don't know where it came from, but it was, kind of legit. This is what would happen is at the end of the memoriam, it would say, Joe Blow is granted a 20-year or 21-year leave of absence. And so, the idea amongst all the Sea Org members reading it being that Joe Schmo is dead now and they're going to go get another body. In fact, by the time I'm reading this, they probably already have, because it happens pretty quick, to our way of thinking as Scientologists. And so they're going to have... It's a powerful enough thing that we kind of thought, well, they're going to have little bells ringing. They're going to have little inclinations of things, and they'll find Scientology again, and they'll come back, right? And the proof of that is, look at those of us who did. So this is kind of how it's thought about in the Sea Org, and that's really, I mean, maybe other people in their Sea Org experience thought about this differently. I can really only share what went on in my head, but yeah, that's all I can say about that.